Hello friends, and welcome back to Picture Astrology. In this video we will talk about Mars in the 11th house for a Libra Ascendant horoscope. So when the Ascendant is Libra, which is the 7th sign of the zodiac, 11th house falls into Leo sign. And Mars becomes the lord of 2nd house because we have Scorpio here, and the 7th house because we have Aries sign here. So this placement of Mars has a very important and significant say in person's financial situation. Finance are highly impacted by this because Mars is lord of 2nd house, which shows money, and it is placed in the 11th house, which is another house of wealth. So two of the primary wealth creator houses are impacted by this placement. Also, because of the lordship of 7th house, Mars has a direct say in person's married life, partnerships, kids, family life, and also the social circle. So we will see specific inputs about how this placement affects all these areas. So let's begin by looking at the marriage aspect of this placement. So when the lord of 7th house, Mars, goes in the 11th house in a very friendly sign of Leo, generally this is an indicator of a very good married life. Now, for overall married and family life perspective, many other planets have to be looked at. Moon, Venus, Mars, they all play a very important role. So the overall chart is to be looked at. But as far as this Mars is placed here, this one placement goes, the married life with this placement is indicated to be very, very happy and at the same time very mutually beneficial. And by mutually beneficial, I mean that many times soon after the marriage, within months after the marriage, a person's social stature, monetary position, earning power from their work life, all of these things which are indicated by this 11th house, they increase. So financially, a marriage kind of brings a very good news for these guys. I'm not indicating that they marry because of money. No, it is just that the situations in life, they become such that their financial condition improves soon after the marriage. And many times the spouse of the person is also from a very, if not rich, then at least well-connected family, a family which is well respected in the society, and those connections, those social connections, help the person grow their business soon after the marriage. So that's what I mean by financially beneficial and also mutually beneficial. It's not that only one person will help other. The position in the 11th house, which is 7th or which is 5th from the house of marriage, is actually indicative of a really mutually beneficial marriage. However, remember, if you are a native who has this placement, your spouse is represented by Mars in Leo, which means a really fiery, spicy, and passionate character. So and it's good. I mean, it is in a way very good for marriage, because such a person soon after the marriage will push you in all areas of life. He will want you to succeed in every area of life. So that will also help you in your financial situation. Plus, in the personal life, in the intimate life also, this is indicative of a very good marriage. So we saw that for the marriage and partnerships perspective, this is a very great position. Now let's just see how or which areas of profession a person could be good at. Now Mars is in the 11th house. It has nothing to do with the 10th house directly. Generally people only look at 10th house for profession, but Mars is the lord of 7th house. Now this is a secondary house which shows your profession, and at the same time Mars has a direct aspect on the 5th house. The 5th house which shows your creative ability or areas in which person is naturally good at, and also by extension it shows your house of education. So all these things combined actually shows that this placement makes a person a well-learned and a practical, knowledgeable person. Mars is everything related to practical things. Mars doesn't like only bookish knowledge. So these guys are generally well educated and they have some kind of day-to-day life practical knowledge. And we have seen, because Mars is also in the sign of Leo, many doctors and especially surgeons have this kind of placement. Surgeons, because Mars is all related to cuts and bruises and all that. Also lawyers, people who are good in arguing and knowledgeable of legal issues, have this placement, because Mars also has aspect on the 6th house which shows things related to legal problems. Now in some way or the other, this placement also shows that person will be involved in legal matters. I have seen doctors who deal with surgeries of road accidents, who have to go into courts many times as witnesses in road rage cases or accidental cases. Many times doctors have to go and be witnesses to give testimony about what kind of situation the patient was in and what their thought is. Or even people who do postmortem or autopsy of dead bodies, and because of that, because they are surgeons and they have legal issues, so the dead body needs to go through an autopsy, and because of that they have to go and present themselves into some kind of court. So often people who are involved in these kind of things have this placement. Now this placement also makes for good traders or businessmen. Now why traders or businessmen? Because Libra as an ascendant is the natural significator of trading activities, and Mars here supports good business. So if they are businessmen, what kind of business would they excel in? Well, Libra shows clothes, and Mars here in a royal sign of Leo shows something royal, regal or expensive clothes. So I've seen people who excel or do very well in businesses of, say, silk or any other expensive clothes type like pashmina, others. They do very well in those in those kind of business. In fact, I have had a couple of my friends who were businessmen doing business of simple clothing, buying and selling, and I suggested them to do business in areas related to wedding suits or wedding gowns, because they represents Mars in Leo sign, and those businesses have done very well. So traders, businesses associated with these kind of items are also seen to be highly successful with this kind of Mars. Now Mars in this place in the 11th house also gives the character of being a hard worker person. They are honest and hardworking, and at the same time they have a very good social and friend circle, and the relationship with the friends is also very good, very mutually beneficial. They work with each other, sometimes partner in some business which also happens for the good of them. And since the lord of 7th house is Mars, many times they meet their spouse from among their own good friend circle, and I've even seen cases where a person first became like a business partner and then that partnership matured into a full marriage, the actual marriage also. So, my dear friends, I think this is about it for the Mars placement in the 11th house in the Leo sign for Libra Ascendant. I hope you liked it. Please do share your comments if you want to know more about it or any other specific area, because I've not really covered everything. And please do subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. Until we meet next time, stay blessed. See you soon.